Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank Honourable Geringiran Tambua for the question. Mr. Speaker, the Fiji National Policy on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities has 13 priority areas. I'll highlight them, the KPIs and the government investments. Number one is coordination and mainstreaming, ensure the policy is fully implemented, monitored and resourced, coordinate disability services at national, divisional and district levels, and there are district and divisional committees already working on this, mainstreaming disability across all government programs and plans. Number two is advocacy and awareness, breaking negative stereotypes and promoting a positive image of persons with disabilities, raising awareness of their needs and rights, and encouraging acceptance and understanding of persons with disabilities in all their diversity. Number three is data and research, collecting accurate data to guide policies and programs, measuring progress and identifying areas needing more attention. Four is health and well-being, ensuring persons with disabilities have access to affordable, quality and accessible health services throughout their lives. Five is education and training, providing inclusive education at all levels, including early childhood, primary, secondary, vocational and tertiary education, training teachers to meet the needs of children with disabilities. Sixth, employment and economic security, increasing employment opportunities in public and private sectors, removing barriers to employment and supporting entrepreneurship, providing reasonable accommodation to ensure equal participation. Seven, rights of women, children, youth, and older persons with disabilities, for women and girls with disabilities to enjoy full rights and freedoms. Violence against women and children with disabilities is addressed. Youth and older persons with disabilities are empowered to participate fully in society. 8 was accessibility, improving access to facilities, services, and transport for all persons with disabilities. 9 is access to justice, ensuring equal access to justice for persons with disabilities, including courts and law enforcement. 10, social protection and housing, using social protection measures to promote equity, providing appropriate and affordable housing for persons with disability. 11, assistive devices and technology, improving supply, distribution, and maintenance of assistive devices, ensuring technology is accessible, affordable, and appropriate to support independence. 12, sports and recreation, increasing participation in sports at all levels, improving accessibility to sport facilities and programs. And 13, disaster risk reduction and climate change, including persons with disabilities in all disaster planning and response, ensuring post-disaster assessments and climate change adaptation strategies consider their needs. Mr. Speaker, the government's investment in persons with disabilities has increased significantly over the past 5 years. From 21.8 million in 2020-2021 budget to 40.7 million in 2024-2025, an increase of 86.8%. Most of this funding has been facilitated through our ministry. Other partnering agencies include the Ministry of Finance, Health and Medical Services, Housing, Youth and Sports, and Education. About 7.6 million of this goes to 13,000 persons with permanent disability. A monitoring, evaluation, review and learning framework, MEL framework, is being developed and will be ready by mid-next year. This is being done in partnership with National Council of Persons with Disabilities, OPDs, and DFAT. This tool will monitor progress, including the KPIs, highlight successes, review strategies for areas facing challenges, and share good practices. Mr. Speaker, the policy and the investments made by government shows our determination to ensure persons with disabilities live with dignity, independence, and equal opportunity. I'd like to provide further details to Honourable Koya's question yesterday on the use of disability data for policy making and service delivery. There are already a memorandum of understanding or agreement with Fiji Elections Office to ensure inclusivity in the election process. There is MOA with TELS, MOA with University of the South Pacific to ensure that the places are not only inclusive, but USB students could also come and be placed at the council. There is draft MOA with Ministry of Toke Affairs to help conduct health surveys in villages for persons living with disability. The data already is being used for revising of National Building Code. The National Council of Persons with Disabilities, as well as the OPDs, were consulted during the review of National Building Code, and written submissions have been provided to solidify the need to have accessible homes and inclusion in all building developments. There's MOA with Ministry of Housing for retrofits. The National Council of Persons with Disabilities in 2025 entered into a partnership with Ministry of Housing and VT Spinal Injury Association for the retrofit assistance to the existing houses. To date, 30 families have been assisted and others are being checked for eligibility requirements. Research conducted in the transport sector by NCPD and OPDs in 2023 found that there were low levels of accessibility overall, with only 23% of transport facilities accessible. Roads and footpaths should be disability friendly so that people who use mobility devices, including wheelchairs and those with visual impairments, can move on without danger. The Ministry would like to acknowledge Fiji Roads Authority for taking this into account. They're working on accessibility works in Salvo that will also include the jetty. The most visible changes to accessibility are in our major airports, and for that we'd like to thank the line ministries and their statutory bodies. However, we'd like to ask if developments for accessibility can also be made in smaller airports and airstrips. There's a lot of work to be done on making our seaports accessible. To strengthen mainstreaming, as mentioned earlier, and coordination across government ministries, the Ministry of Civil Service has drafted a disability inclusion policy to guide inclusive initiatives. Data available through FEMIS supports equitable financial allocation for inclusive education. The Data Hub is also essential to capture information on non-school age children with disabilities to ensure access to early learning opportunities. There remains a need to assess community awareness and understanding of the rights of persons with disabilities to strengthen rights-based advocacy, and that is being undertaken. Mr. Speaker, these updates reflect the ongoing efforts of the Ministry and the Council and the advocacy of the organizations of persons with disabilities to promote inclusion and advance the rights of all persons with disabilities in Fiji in different sectors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.